Hey there, my name is Chris and welcome to Penguin Storytime. Today's stories are called Timesheet Police, No Personal Mail, Employees Can't Put Items aside to purchase later, and You Won't Fix the Lights. Don't forget to hit the like button, it really helps the channel grow. Let's dive right into the first story, shall we?
Our company has a very strict rule when it comes to salary-exempt employees. I'm not even sure if it is legal, but okay. You have to submit a timesheet at the beginning of each month. The only thing they want on it is any time missed and how much paid time off you are using. They deduct pay for any time missed that is not made up or that paid time off does not cover. They ask to not submit your full clock in and out and lunches, just any time missed. I do, however, keep a notebook of my in, out and lunch times, and have always done so. I am always super early to work so that I can take an hour lunch every day. It is allowed, and a few others do this as well. The issue is that some of the upper management does not like me. I really don't know why, but it is very apparent in the micromanagement style of this place. And so, Karen watches me like a hawk. I always get here before her as she waltzes in 10 minutes late every day. She has apparently complained to my supervisor that I take very long lunches. And that I am never around when she calls me. Karen suggested that I was likely fudging my timesheets because there is no way I was not using paid time off while being gone for so long every day at lunch. This launched because she is a fixture here, an investigation into my timesheets. Long story short, they pulled me into my supervisor's office to discuss the issue. They stated that because my timesheets were not explicit, that they had to assume I was doing this. And that they were assuming that it had been going on for a while. And that they were preparing to fire me based on Karen's suggestions. I then pipe up with, "But yes, I can prove my times." I then pull out my time log, and they go somewhat quiet. After evaluating my time log, which took a good 45 minutes, they discovered that they, in fact, owed me 2 hours of paid time off because of my overestimations. I was free to leave. As I walk out of my office, Karen is in my office, seemingly about to start cleaning my personal stuff out. When she saw me sit back down, she was fuming. I heard her stomp into my supervisor's office and scream at him for 10 minutes. Everything was pretty muffled, but you could easily get the gist that she was mad I was not being fired. And this is why you should document everything. The next story is called No Personal Mail. At work, we had an outgoing mailbox that handled postal mail as well as internal. You just dropped your envelope in there, the mailroom picked it up when they collected mail every afternoon, and everything was fine. Everyone did this. I used it for my Menards rebates, people used it for greeting cards, bills, anything you still needed to send by mail. My landlady, although very kind, is about 1,000 years old. Because of that, she doesn't have a website or even a PayPal account and requires us to mail her a check for rent every month. But we had this one manager. She apparently had too much time and too little sense and liked to annoy anyone she had authority over at any opportunity. One month, she saw me drop my rent check in the outgoing mail bin and was at my desk faster than I thought this lady could even move. The rules say the mailbox is only for work-related mail. Why are you sending this letter to someone in the next suburb over? Because I always do. Because I have for a year and a half now and no one's said anything? Well, it's against the rules. No personal mail. Show me that rule. So she goes over to her desk with me, where she already had the internal company website pulled up to the page on the mailroom. Sure enough, no personal mail. Well, thank you for letting me know. Could you send me the link to this page? Gladly. It was sitting in my inbox by the time I got back. The link to the webpage, this constitutes a written warning, and a threat of a write-up if I was caught breaking company policy again. It was obvious what I had to do. From then on, I watched that mailbox like a hawk. Anytime I saw a personal letter in there, I pulled it out and placed it on the sender's desk, along with a copy of the email, with her name and company email splashed across the header. In fact, I was so worried about this flagrant violation of the rules that after a couple of days I decided to start checking the mailboxes in other departments, and then on the other floors. I wouldn't want anyone else to make such an embarrassing mistake after all. About a week later, the company's website was updated to clarify that personal mail was allowed if under a certain size and weight. No one said a word to me, but I'm told Busybody got a talking to. All I know is she gave me the stink eye every time she saw me until she transferred out of the department. The third story is called Employees Can't Put Items Aside to Purchase Later. This happened a few months ago on Black Friday. I work in a video game store and I wanted to buy a PlayStation Virtual Reality bundle. I asked our new manager to put one aside for me because I start at 1 and the store open at 8. No big deal, we've done that for years. He then tells me he can't because if a customer sees on the website we have it in stock, he's forced to sell it even though the website takes 24 hours to update stock inventory and we put stuff aside for customers all the time. The next day I arrive at 1, I get my set instantly and I see the manager put aside for him our only used Nintendo Switch along with 2 games. Later, a customer comes to buy a Switch with those exact 2 games and he saw on the website that we had them in stock. So I had to sell it to him. Now the manager took one of the drawers for himself so he can reserve stuff freely. The last story is called, You Won't Fix the Lights? I live in a unit complex managed by a certain public strata corporation that cares very little about its tenants. A few years back, we had some really old common area lighting that used fluorescent tubes that needed to be replaced frequently. Strata obviously got sick of replacing them all the time and also they did a poor job of illuminating common areas, so they installed brand new lamps with built-in motion sensing dimmer switches. They'd go bright when they sense motion and dim when idle. When installed, they were on 24 hours a day. Fast forward to about 9 months ago. We started having regular issues with the common area lighting. Usually, they'd turn off for no reason and Strata would have to send a contractor out to fix them. This coincided with nearby property development. Strata took advantage of this development by shifting the blame to the energy provider, who had supposedly flagged the light switch as being turned off as a safety risk to workers in the nearby development, and they also started rewiring the lights to fully turn off during the day, from about 7 in the morning to about 8 at night. This was a problem, and I made sure to tell Strata this too. See, our building has a common garage area with carports that are completely undercover. It's literally built into the underside of our building. During broad daylight, if those lights are off, it's pitch black in the carports. A person could easily hide in the carports next to cars or even in empty carports and jump people as they pass by. Which isn't totally out of the question for the area. Up until about 3 months ago, Strata would begrudgingly restore the original lighting settings for about a week or 2 before sending another contractor out to set them back to timed. However, when I called Strata this time, they informed me that due to a new policy, the lights could not be restored to their former settings. I asked to speak to the supervisor of the person I was speaking to, and it went a little something like this. The lights cannot be on at day. The lights have to be on at day. Otherwise, you cannot see what you are doing in the stairwell or in the garage area. We have elderly residents here, and people with mobility issues. Someone could easily fall and break something. That doesn't change anything. Until someone does break something, we cannot change the lighting settings. So naturally, with this in mind, I devised some malicious, if not self-painful compliance. See, a few days prior to this call, Strata had sent me a letter demanding I dispose of a couch outside my door on the common area. I had plans to do it anyway, as it had only been there for 2 days and the lighting situation made it hazardous to do whenever I had some free time and an extra set of hands. But I decided to throw caution to the wind because I was determined to get those lights fixed. With the aid of one of my neighbors, we began carefully moving this couch down 3 flights of stairs. As we get to the bottom, I trip and fall down half a flight of stairs, with a 3-seater couch following close behind me. Naturally, this hurt a lot, and I ended up going to the hospital for a couple of broken bones. Once I had a spare moment in the hospital, I called Strata to repeat my request. Naturally, they jumped straight to, we can't do anything until we've confirmed it's a safety hazard. They changed their tune really quick once they heard about my injuries. By the time I got out of the hospital, the lights were reconfigured to be on 24 hours a day. I haven't had an issue yet. The pain was worth it. To be honest, I'd rather take the injury than one of our elderly neighbors. It's still a shame that you actually have to get injured to get something so basic as a renter. What do you think? Comment down below. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.